Early on the morning of June 20th, we boarded a tour bus for an hour-long drive to the city of Bogor, about 37 miles south of Jakarta. Although much smaller than Jakarta and seemingly cleaner and better maintained, I was stunned to hear that the core of the city is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. The Bogor Botanical Garden is one of the oldest and largest such gardens in the world. On the property is the former summer residence of the Governor-General of the Dutch East Indies. The Orchid House has a collection of approximately 500 species of orchids, primarily of the wild variety. I am not much into flowers other than springtime azaleas and Augusta, of course, but the flowers here were really beautiful. Across the road from the entrance to the garden was an area serving as a traditional market for the local people. It was very crowded and dirty, and the stench was unbelievable. It's hard to believe that people actually eat the things that are sold in markets like that. After lunch, we boarded our bus again for a 3-hour drive to Bandung, the capital city of the West Java province. It is the country's third largest city, with a population of nearly 9 million. It appeared on the surface to be a much cleaner and safer city than Jakarta was. And by safer, I mean there were roads and sidewalks in Bandung that were safe to drive and walk on. I never felt any kind of danger from the people of Indonesia at all. The fact is, though, that despite some very modern buildings, Jakarta was pretty much a dump, and walking around there had been a nightmare because of narrow, pothole-lined or non-existent sidewalks. Bandung was far different. On the morning of June 21st, we visited a workshop for making angklungs, a very popular Southeast Asian musical instrument. The angklung is made of 2 to 4 bamboo tubes attached to a bamboo frame. The tubes are carved to have a resonant pitch when struck and are tuned to octaves. The base of the frame is held in one hand, while the other hand strikes the instrument, causing a repeating note to sound. Each of 3 or more performers in an angklung ensemble play just one note or more, but altogether complete melodies are produced. While at the workshop, we completed the assembly of individual angklungs, which we were allowed to take with us. Jim and Peg had to be sent home a couple of days later because Peg was totally incapable of keeping up with the group and engaging in the activities of the tour, with far more strenuous activities yet ahead of us. They were obviously upset about being kicked out like that, but they should never have signed up for this tour to begin with. On a positive note, however, Mary, Donna, Debbie, and Joanne were a group of friends whom I affectionately nicknamed the Desperate Housewives Part 2. Part 1 having been a group of 8 women from California I met on my Mongolia trip in 2006. Both groups were fantastic groups of women to meet and travel with. For some reason, Joanne is absent from this particular photo. After lunch, most of us from the group visited a lodge for Indonesian veterans of war. The veterans all represented at this particular lodge were veterans of the Indonesian War of Independence, which had been fought from 1945 to 1949. Most of these veterans were in their 80s, and the lead man there was a spry 92 years old. They were thrilled to meet us and were so warm and generous that it was actually moving. This visit was definitely one of the highlights of the entire trip.